But in the case of Dallas Cowboys star running back Ezekiel Elliott, guess what? It applies to the breaks one receives in life, too. Being twice as good to get half as much for the black athlete today applies not just to their talents, but their behavior, too. Life is good when you know how to act. When you don't, there's a reason Elliott got 6 games.
So I go to the internet to read up on the things that interest me most, and it's like I'm living the same nightmare and outrage again for the first time. Except it's the 100th time, or maybe the 1000th time. You know what I'm talking about. After what feels like 20 years of infuriating incompetence and reckless disregard for the well-being of the general population, and before more damage is done, I say the head guy has got to go, because there's one common thread through all the disasters. One man, one name, who is responsible for it all. And he can't be compelled to quit, right? He inherited his fortune, power, and ability to survive his own ineptness from his dad and turned it into a total mess, but it's still rightfully his, isn't it? Okay, I'll be the one to say it. Before he leads us to yet another disaster, James Dolan must be relieved of his duties. You just can't trade Kristaps Porzingis. Now, I'm a strict Knicks constitutionalist, and I suppose it was within his right to draft Frederick Weiss, to trade Marcus Camby and Nene Hilario for the remains of Antonio McDyess, to ban Charles Oakley from the Garden, to have a Steve Francis era. None of that constitutes a high crime or misdemeanor. Discouraging. But then I remember this thing I keep hearing about. What is it, the 25th Amendment or something? If the head guy is judged to be unfit for his position, he can be removed. After yesterday's revisiting of a very, very bad idea, it's time. So I go to the internet to read up on the things that interest me most, and it's like I'm living the same nightmare and outrage again for the first time. Except it's the 100th time, or maybe the 1000th time. You know what I'm talking about. After what feels like 20 years of infuriating incompetence and reckless disregard for the well-being of the general population.